Good morning, guys. Welcome to a new weekly vlog. So it is Monday, December 4th. It is about 5 a.m. now. I just finished making a pot of coffee, so I'm going to put together a cup for myself. And then, usually I don't get up quite this early, but the dog woke me up to go outside, so I figured I'd want to just stay up and get the day going, get started and stuff. So I'm going to put together a cup, I'm going to go upstairs and get some VA work done. And probably do a reading update here soon. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is finishing up last night's weekly vlog. I'm going to throw it on some YouTube and then get some work done for my VA. And then I'll check back in a little bit and do that reading update for the week. I think a couple of hours later, I think I updated like at 5 and it's just about 7 now. I spent the last couple of hours working on VA stuff, like I said. I know uploading this week's YouTube video to YouTube, which is taking forever. I'm hoping it's not going to take like all day, because I can't really like click out of YouTube while it's exporting. I need to kind of let it do its thing, so I can't really use my iPad right now while it's uploading. So I think I'm going to maybe read some of Dark Air, which I have sitting back here, and maybe keep reading Four Dead Queens, which I talked about last vlog, and just taking notes and stuff so that I can let my iPad do its thing and get this video uploaded, which is looking like it's going to take a while, which sucks, but yeah, so I'm going to keep doing that. And then so as far as reading goes, I am reading Dark Air, which I talked about last week. I'm like 40% through. So far it's really good. I'm excited to see where it's going to go. Then I'm reading Four Dead Queens, which, like I said, was one of my favorite books of the year that I first read it. I think was 2018. So I'm rereading it. And yeah, those are the two physical books I'm reading right now. I will talk to you guys about the ebooks and audiobooks I'm listening to and stuff later on. You guys, it is crazy what a quick 10-minute stretch will do. I don't really like stretch or like work out as often as I should. And I never do any stretches or anything. And I always feel like my back always hurts. My limbs always feel super tight. Like I know I'm super tight like in my hips and stuff. And so I could really feel it doing that yoga. Like I did a 10-minute yoga like stretching routine. And even just that 10 minutes feels so much better, and I could feel it. Like I said, my hips are very tight, my legs, like my hamstrings and everything, so I definitely think that's something I want to start implementing every day. Honestly, I probably could have done longer, but I don't want to do too much too fast, so I think, like I said, I think that's something I'm going to start implementing every day, and maybe like every week I'll increase the time a little bit. So I did that while this YouTube video is still uploading. It's at 62% right now, so it still has a little bit to go. I was going to do some reading, but I think what I'm going to do is actually clean up this nightstand, because this nightstand is a disaster. Like, I can barely fit anything else on here. As you can see, I'm just like piling stuff up. There's like stuff that I look at night, and it's just a complete mess. So I think I'm going to do that instead, actually. It's about 7:30 now, and like I said, I usually go downstairs at 8, so I'm going to use the last half an hour to get that cleaned up, because it's starting to bother me, because there's just not any space on there, and I know it drives Nick crazy too, because he's more like OCD than I am. You can definitely tell like the difference between his nightstand and mine, but it's getting to the point where now it's bothering me, and I just have no more room for anything else, so I'm going to go grab like a trash bag, so I can go through some stuff and throw stuff out, and get that all organized here in this last 30 minutes before I start work. Hey, so I'm in my office now, as you can see. Got my Christmas lights on behind me. I grabbed just some breakfast. Like you saw in that clip, I have coffee and a muffin. I have my 9 to 5 work set up. I'm gonna get started on that and work on that for the next like half an hour, 45 minutes. I did receive an email back from my VA client, so I need to look at that and answer him. And then I have a meeting with my boss, my VA boss, in about an hour and a half. So I'll try to get as much work done now as I can before that. Nick's going to be taking Dobby for some shots later on today, so we need to get his leash and stuff ready for that. So yeah, I'm going to get as much work done right now as I can, and then I will do that reading update here in a little bit. Hey guys, so it's almost 1 o'clock now. I had my lunch. I had my meeting with my VA boss. That took like an hour. We have a lot of exciting projects on the way. I also sat down and answered an email from my VA client. So it's been a busy Monday, so I haven't been able to update as much as I want. I still need to go make our bed and get all the stuff that I cleaned off of my dresser, like put in here. So once I do all that, I'll have all the books I'm reading. I'll be able to sit down and do like a proper reading update. So I'll do that then as soon as I have a second. I have a few more cases I need to get done, and then I'll sit down and do that. Hey guys, it is about 8 o'clock now, so I'm doing my usual, just coming upstairs, getting like my to-do list and stuff done. I need to double check my emails, and I also need to get the weekly vlog posted, like up. It's already like exported or uploaded to YouTube, I should say. It's just on private right now, so I need to make the thumbnail and put the description on it and everything and get it posted, so I'm going to do that. And then that is basically it for tonight. Again, I did not do my reading update because it's been busy and work was busier than I thought. So I'll try to do that first thing tomorrow morning. So I will see you guys in the morning. Morning, guys. So it is Tuesday now. It is like 5:40, 5:50 now. I got my coffee made. I am upstairs in bed, as you can see. I'm watching the rest of Olivia's vlogs that I have not caught up with. Let me turn the camera around so I can show you guys what I have. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna finally sit down and do this reading update that I have been talking about for like days now. I did a quick list of all the books that I'm currently in the middle of. I have 2 physical books. So the first one is Four Dead Queens. I think maybe I talked about this yesterday. This is a book that it's like one of the first Al Grey, or maybe the first Al Grey book that I ever received back in like 2018 or 2019. And I loved this book. Like, as you can see, I tabbed it. I still think about this book. I haven't read it again since, but I still think about this book. And the fantasy book that I had an idea for has a similar kind of setup. Like, the kingdom itself is set up in a similar way. So I'm reading this to kind of get like a real life example of that. And to just kind of see how that was done. And also to get an idea for like language and dialogue used in fantasy books, because I've never had to do that before. So I'm reading that for that reason, but also because I really enjoyed this book. I think I'm like 2 pages in, so I've barely even started it. And then I also have Dark Air, which is the second book. This is the sequel to Dark Rise. I am 218 pages into this, so I'm like halfway. I'm really liking it so far. It's really good to be back with these characters, and there have been so many surprises already and things that I did not expect. So I'm excited to see where it's going to go. It's hard to talk about this without giving away spoilers because it is the sequel. So the first one is mainly set in like London, and like another area. It's kind of like Portal Magic too. There's a little bit of that. So this is about the main character Will, who in the first book he's kind of on the run. He's in hiding after his mother was killed, and he's just kind of doing these like one-off like jobs. So at the beginning of the first book he is like a worker on a ship, and he, like I said, is trying to hide and trying to run away from the people who killed his mother, but they find him, and he ends up getting taken and stowed away on this ship. And while he's on the ship, there's this big like fight between these group of men. There's this guy called Simon who is like a shipping guy. He was like a shipping master or whatever they were called back then. And he owns all these ships, and he has a group of people who go on these digs and find like this archaeological stuff, and then all the things get shipped back on his ships. And he's also kind of like a kind of like a mob boss. Like, he has a group of men who follow him, and it's kind of like mob bossy, kind of like piratey, kind of. And all the men who follow him are branded with an S. So at the beginning of the story, we see another character, Tom, who is branded with that S. He has the higher in the ranks you get of this group of men, like, that's when you get to be branded with the S, and it's like an honor to have this brand. And so we see that happen, get branded, and then we meet Tom's little sister Violet, who is kind of a tomboy, and she kind of follows him around and idolizes her big brother. And so she's there, like, hiding in like the rafters of the ship, and she sees her brother get branded, and she dreams about someday getting branded herself. But this is like not Victorian London, or maybe it kind of is, but it's that kind of time where like women don't, can't do these kinds of things, and they're expected to be ladies and proper, and so it's kind of a little bit like Victorian, maybe a little bit like, is Regency here? I don't know. It's a little bit Victorian, like a little bit like Regency, like maybe like Sherlock Holmes kind of time frame. And so Silk gets taken, and he's a prisoner on this ship, and they're like interrogating him, and this other group of people called the stewards show up, and they are not really magicians. Like, they don't have actual magic to use, but they have like relics, and they're like the protectors of this like citadel, and of like what they call the final flame. And so they happen to attack while Will's on the ship, and while Violet happens to be on the ship. And so all this stuff happens, and Violet ends up saving Will, and they become like fast friends, and they end up having to escape with the stewards. What the stewards don't know is that Violet is actually what's called a lion, so she's like very strong, and lions and stewards are actually enemies, and they don't know that she's a lion. So she inadvertently ends up being kind of like a spy, like, in their area. Violet ends up having kind of like her own storyline, and a lot of things happen in the first book. I don't want to give it away, but a lot of things happen in the first book. I really, really loved the first book. There is a like male kind of relationship developing. There hasn't been any like actual romance happening in the book yet. It's just kind of like the undertones of it, which is how this author writes. They also wrote the Captive Prince series, and that's how that was also. There was like the undertones of the romance and like kind of flirtatious things happening, like sexual tension, but it doesn't happen until like the second or third book. So that's how this is also. Will, and there's another character, James, who is a reborn or like reincarnated general for the Dark King. He and Will have this kind of like tenuous like sexual tension, flirtatious kind of relationship going. I really liked this book. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well, but I really liked Dark Rise. It was my favorite book of 2022, and so far I don't know if I would say Dark Air's gonna follow that. It's been good, but it hasn't like blown my mind or anything, but we'll see. I'm still only like halfway in. So yeah, so those are the 2 physical books I have, and then I'm gonna pull up my library app and show you guys the audiobooks and ebooks I'm reading. Okay, so as for audiobooks and ebooks, I will put the covers up here. The first one is The Trouble with Goodbye by Sarah Cannon. This is an author I've mentioned before. I watch her YouTube all the time. This is her like contemporary romance series. I think this is the only contemporary romance she writes. Everything else is like fantasy, and like magic, like kind of like paranormal romance, kind of, I think. So I forget the main character, but this is kind of your typical contemporary romance where like the girl has an issue and she ends up having to go back home to her small town, and while she's there, she runs into her ex-boyfriend, who is now dating her, was her best friend, and she meets the new man in town. She's having issues with her parents, blah blah. So kind of typical small town romance. I'm like 12 chapters in, I think. It's pretty good so far. I'm interested to see where it's gonna go. Then I'm reading Wayward. This is really good. I'm really liking this one. This kind of bounces back and forth between perspectives, I think it's three different women. There's I think it's Kate, who lives in like contemporary times, and she is running away from her physically, or her abusive husband. She's like a domestic violence situation going on, and she has just found out that she's pregnant, and so she has run away. Then we have Violet, who lived kind of in the. It seems like it could be during the, like, maybe the not Revolutionary War, the Civil War time, kind of. It's like that time frame. And she's kind of like a siren, and when young people hear her like siren call, they decide they want to fight for her in her war. Not everyone hears this siren call, only certain people. And so the main character, they call her Winnow, is it? I think they call her Winnow, which is, I think, her last name. She is a like journalist at a newspaper in her city. And her brother has gone off to fight in this war. He heard the siren call, but he's missing in action. They don't know if he's alive, if he's dead, what's going on. And she has a rivalry with this guy who works at the newspaper as well. His name is Roman, and they are like two opposites. She's kind of lives on the other side of the tracks. Her family doesn't have a lot of money. She is wearing like hand-me-downs and her mother's old boots, and they are like to the point where like they don't have electricity and they barely have money to eat. And her mother's an alcoholic. And then Roman is like the opposite. He lives in a big mansion with his father, who's very like overbearing, and he is in an arranged marriage. And so the book is, so far in the book, they have started, the house that Roman lives in is like magical. And so when Winnow is writing letters to her brother, but she's not actually mailing them. She is like slipping them into this wardrobe in her bedroom, and the letters are disappearing. And so she doesn't know if they're actually going to her brother or not until all of a sudden someone starts responding to her letters through the wardrobe. And the first thing they say is like, this is not whoever, I forget her brother's name. And so they're corresponding back and forth through this wardrobe, which I love. Definitely giving off kind of Narnia vibes, although there's not like a place inside the wardrobe. It's just like the magic happening within the wardrobe. And Roman knows that he's the one receiving her letters, and he's like responding to her, but he's not pretending to be her brother. Like, he told her, I'm not your brother. But Violet does, or I keep saying Violet, that's the other book. Winnow, I think is what they call her, doesn't know that it's him. And so she's kind of pouring her heart out about like her fears and the war and her mother and her brother. And so he knows all these things about her now, and they're in this like rivalry at their job. They're both competing for the same position. So where I am now is like he's kind of debating like, how do I tell her that it's me that she's told all this stuff to. And she's helping him write this article, and so I'm waiting to see kind of where it's gonna go as far as the war and stuff. So that's that one. Then I'm reading The Do-Over, which is like a contemporary romance. I'm only like 5 pages in. I think it's about a man who's like a businessman, and he owns this business with his 2 brothers, I believe, and they're like very rich. He has like Christian Grey vibes as far as like wealth and like businessmen, that kind of thing. And the main character, I don't remember his name, but he is upset because his brothers have told him that he basically like has no substance. Basically, he is just about money, and he's like a spoiled like trust fund baby basically. And he has a fit, and he's like offended. He's like, what do you mean, like spoiled or whatever? And like everybody around him knows this about him, and so he's arguing with them about it. And I'm not sure exactly what. Oh, he decides, that's what it is. He decides he is going to, like, to prove everyone wrong, he's going to go on a backpacking trip through like the world or around Europe or whatever with only like $2,000, and he's going to show them that he can live without money. So he's about to do that, and then there's the second POV is a woman who is dealing with grief. I think her father passed away, or maybe her marriage ended, I don't remember, but she's dealing with something, and she decided that she was gonna go like travel the world and find herself, as one does. And I'm assuming they're gonna run into each other at some point. I started reading this one because it's similar kind of to my train story, in that they end up traveling the world together. So I wanted to see kind of like a book that was already written with that kind of theme. just so I can see how it's done. So that's that. And then I'm reading The Gilded Cage, which is the second book. It's the sequel to The Prison Healer. The Prison Healer left off with like the biggest cliffhanger and like surprise that I did not see coming. So I'm only a few chapters into The Gilded Cage, so I'm excited to see where it's gonna go and what's gonna happen with these characters now. Then I'm reading the last 50 pages, which is just like a nonfiction like writing book about like how to end your story. Then I'm listening to the audiobook of Mr. Magic. This one's kind of weird. I don't know if it's gonna be like horror, if it's gonna end up being like paranormal. I'm not really sure, but it's kind of weird so far. So there's this TV show called Mr. Magic that was on like 20 years ago or something, and it's one of those things where like people remember this show, but there's no like proof of it anywhere. There's no videos of it online. There's no articles of it online. Anytime anybody posts anything about it, it immediately gets taken down. Like there's like this whole mysterious like aura about the show, and nobody really knows what happened to the people who are in the show, and nobody knows who this Mr. Magic, who was like the main character. So there was a magician in the Hey guys, so it's about 8:50 now. I had breakfast and fed the puppy, and now I am doing some work for my 9-to-5 job. My VA client did answer my emails and stuff from last night, so I need to respond to him. I also found this awesome hack, I don't found, but someone talked about on Instagram, this awesome hack for Canva that I think is going to be amazing. So I already tried it out, and it's working really well. So usually my days are basically like this, kind of jumping back and forth. The shadows from the window are on my face. Jumping back and forth between VA work and like my 9-to-5 job. That's usually what my like days consist of, Monday through Friday. So yeah, I'm gonna get to work. I'm gonna look at those emails, see what my client said, and then keep on my 9-to-5 job. And then I have a meeting at 10 that I need to hop on to. So I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Also, something I want to tell you guys, if you have like a drip coffee maker, put cinnamon in the coffee for when it drips. It is so good. I used to do that with my old coffee maker, and then when I had the Nespresso I couldn't, because you know it's the closed pods. But now that I have the drip coffee maker again, I tried it this morning and it is so good, especially this time of year. Like, it turned out so good. I love it. Welcome back. So it's about 7:10 now. I am on my way to work now. I was gonna stop and get McDonald's breakfast, but I'm not gonna have enough time. I'm trying to get to the office a little early. I'm supposed to clock in at 8. I'm trying to get there a little bit early so I can do my makeup real quick. I didn't get a chance to do it. I also grabbed the mail. I have a book of the month box here. I think some people have been using my referral code down below. I always have a book of the month referral code down there, because I haven't been subscribed to book of the month in a while. But I logged in and all of a sudden I had like 5 or 6 credits that I didn't have before. So I really appreciate that. Any of you who have used that code. So yeah, I ended up getting a whole bunch of books. I got like 6 books, or 5 or 6 I think, and I still have an extra credit left. So book of the month will only let you order so many books, so I didn't use all of the credits. So I'll be able to get, I think, 2 books in January, which is cool. So grab that box. I'm gonna see if I have time to do like a quick car unboxing. Maybe I'll do that as a separate video. Maybe, I don't know, I haven't decided. But yeah, so I'm trying to get there early enough so that I can do my makeup and do that. And then we'll be at work from like whatever time I get there, you know, 7:40 to about, I think about 10:40, because the holiday party we're going to Like I said, it's at one of the casinos on the strip, so we need time to get there, especially because traffic on the strip has been really bad lately. So we'll probably only be in the office for a few. And then usually at the party they have like food. Usually they have like prime rib and different like sides and stuff. It's pretty good. It's not like amazing. The food at when I used to for Station Casinos, their holiday party, the food was better. They had like shrimp and stuff. I'm assuming it's gonna be the same as the last couple of years. It's good. You know, it's good to get out and have a little bit better of a meal, but it's not like amazing. They have like karaoke and different activities. Usually they give away prizes, but our supervisor told us that she was told that our not our CEO, but like, I don't know, I forget, she used the word and I don't remember what it is, but we're like a publicly traded company, so like the board members or whatever, like those people, I guess they came together and they're giving everybody like a cash bonus at this party, whoever attends this party. Because there were some of my coworkers who were saying they weren't going to go to the party, and she was like, well, you want to go to this party? So I'm hoping that it's a decent amount. I'm hoping we're not getting there and it's, you know, $20. I mean, $20 is $20, but, you know, I'm hoping it's actually like a good bonus. That would be cool, especially with everything, you know, that we had to go through with the company a couple months ago, and it's been a crazy year. So hopefully that'll be a good thing. I'm really hoping that it's like at least a couple $100, because then I plan on using that to put the deposit down on our cruise for April. So I'm really fingers crossed that you know, is a good amount, like I said. And then after the party, we are heading back to our office, and like I said, we were having a little bridal shower for my coworker who gets married next week. And then I think I said this yesterday, one of my coworkers announced yesterday that she's leaving, which sucks. I think I might start looking myself. They've been changing a bunch of rules. We have a new manager who's like coming in and changing everything and writing people up and doing all this crazy stuff. So I might start looking myself. I don't know. I really don't want to give up working from home if I don't have to, though. So yesterday ended up being, I didn't talk about it in the moment because I was kind of processing and everything, but yesterday was a really sad day here in Vegas. There was a mass shooting at UNLV, the university here in town. It's a pretty well known university, like nationally. We're finding out this morning that it was a man who, it seems like he was rejected for a job, like a professor who was rejected for a job, and and so far there are 3 people confirmed dead. We're not sure how many people were actually injured or shot. There were reports of like 20 plus people having been shot. There was reports of like 30 plus people having been shot. So we're not exactly sure what the actual injuries were, but we do know that 3 people were fatally shot. And there were students who were like in lockdown for hours, like the whole day. And there was video, you know, obviously on the news all day, and just parents and like videos of people reuniting and friends crying over each other, and just like kids talking to the news about how they were calling their parents to tell them that they love them, and or like, hey, I just want to let you know this is going on, but I want you to let you know that I'm okay. I'm hiding right now. You know, we're like sheltering in place, and I'm okay right now. I want you to let you know that in this moment I'm okay. So when the news breaks, you don't freak out. Because so many of them weren't sure what was going to happen, and then our police, Metro Police Department here. I hit the wrong button and just deleted everything I just said. I don't remember what I was saying, but I think we believe it was the cops who shot the shooter. And I was saying that it's ridiculous that in this country this is the norm, and this is what happens. And you know, we've become so desensitized to it, and it's just normal. There's been like 6,000 something shootings in the country since like in this year, and that is just ridiculous. And the fact that people care more about their supposed rights and these weapons, you know, that nobody needs to have, is ridiculous. You know, the fact that these college kids can't go get an education without worrying about getting something like this happening, you know. And then I was saying at my nephew's school, my nephew is 5 years old, and he goes to school in a small town here on the like outskirts of Vegas. And his elementary school was shut down. Had a lockdown last week because there was an active shooter, like in the apartments by his house. And my 5-year-old nephew had to stay locked down, shelter in place in his school for hours, like after he should have been out of school, and went home crying and telling his mom that he was scared and that they had to hide under their desks and be very quiet so that the monster wouldn't find them and shoot them. And that is just ridiculous. No one should have to go through that, but especially no child. And it just makes me so angry that this, like I said, this is just the norm. This is just what happens. And we watch the news and we'll pray about it, or we'll, whatever, but nothing is ever done. Nothing ever changes. There were so many of those college. There were so many college kids on the news yesterday, freshmen, talking about how, they go to school and they know that this. Some of them said, I figured it was eventually going to happen. Like, I knew it was eventually going to happen. Like, that is sad to have to go and try to get an education knowing, like, fully expecting this to happen, because that's what happens in this country. That's what was said over and over and over again. In this country, that's what happens. You just expect it. It's not that much of a surprise in this country that happens. That's ridiculous. And how anybody can watch that and not feel embarrassed about this country and not feel shame is beyond me. There was a girl who is like an exchange student here from Europe, and she said, where I'm from, we don't have to worry about this kind of thing. We never worry about this. It's not even something that gets brought up because it never happens. She said, but when I transferred to here to go to school, I knew that it was a very real possibility and that it could happen. And the fact that it happened here my first semester is really scary. And I just, just so embarrassed that so many people in this country are just like, it is what it is, that's what happens, or, want to make all the excuses that they possibly can. I don't want to go on a full, rant about this, but yeah, it was a really sad day. There was, luckily, nobody I know was injured, but there were several people that I knew who were on campus or who were supposed to be on campus, and just watching the news the whole day, it was very reminiscent of October 1, which is the largest mass shooting in the history of the United States that happened here in Las Vegas. My supervisor ended up leaving early, because her daughter was on the campus and had to go, into hiding and shelter in place, and she was really upset and traumatized, understandably. And so, these are real people. These are real people's lives, real kids who, are now afraid to go back to campus. So many kids were displaced last night because they live on campus and they couldn't get back onto campus. Again, just the fact that this happens and there's so many people in this country who don't think that anything needs to change is just ludicrous. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that at that. But there's a lot of traffic right now because they're still cleaning up after Formula One. Again, the streets redone and whatever they do after that. So it's taking me a little bit longer to get to work than I was hoping, but hopefully it won't take me too much longer. I need to go into and help decorate. I think a couple of my coworkers are already at the office helping decorate for this bridal shower, so I'll probably go try to help them. And yeah, I think that's basically it for now. This weekend is, I need to do that too. I'll have to try to do that afterward. This weekend is Nick's birthday, so I need to go get him a birthday card. I meant to do that this morning, stop, run into Walgreens real quick, but I totally spaced it, and I don't have enough time now, so I'll have to try to remember to do that tonight after work. And it's also my parents, my mom and my stepdad's 11-year wedding anniversary. I can't believe it's been 11 years already. So I don't know if I know we're gonna go to dinner somewhere for Nick's birthday. I don't know if we're doing anything with my parents for their anniversary or not. And yeah, that's basically the update for now. So I'm going to try to get to work, see how much time I have, see if I can get some. And then I'll see if I can go ahead and do this unboxing real quick. So I will check back in with you guys later on. I think most of today will be like B-roll because obviously I'll be in the office and I'll be at this party. But yeah, we'll check in later, probably after work. Okay, so I'm here now. It's about 7:35. I'm gonna do my makeup real quick because that is the priority over book of the month right now. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and then see if I have time to do this unboxing. I don't know that I'm going to. I may end up having to wait. I've never really done my makeup like on camera like this before. I've done it Get Ready With Me, but that was like years ago. So we'll see how this goes. But I really should have gotten my eyebrows done before this, but I didn't, so too late now. I've been using this Maybelline, like I don't even know what it is, Maybelline something, for like years. This is probably like my, I don't know, 10th like bottle or whatever of this. I am not like a makeup guru, whatever, by any means. I just do what I know works for me. I have like rosacea on my cheeks, so my cheeks are always really red. So I do what I can to cover that up. And I usually like to wet my beauty blender, but I don't obviously have water right now, or I do, but I'm not going to stick, obviously not going to stick my beauty blender in my Stanley Cup. So then I have this other L'Oreal Infallible. There is another one that I used to use. I think it was Maybelline also. I don't remember why I stopped using this one. I think I just, like, one time just needed to grab, like, whatever was cheapest, and this was it. And then I just kind of stuck with it after that. I've never done, like, all the different, I don't know, like, all the contouring and that kind of stuff. I've never done any of that. I usually keep it pretty simple. Like I said, usually just concealer, foundation. Sometimes I'll do eyeshadow. When I was in high school, I loved eyeshadow and having like different color eyeshadows on. That was like my favorite part of putting makeup on. But I haven't really done that in a while. Occasionally I'll put on like a brown eyeshadow or something. But I don't think I have any eyeshadow with me right now. I really like lipstick, like when I see other people putting on like bright red lipsticks and stuff. I love how it looks on them, but I never like how it looks. Like I occasionally like how like a bright red lipstick will look on me, but it depends on like what I'm wearing, and I haven't done that in a while though. I know I'm probably supposed to do like all down here since you can see my whole kind of chest, like upper chest area, but I'm not gonna do all that. Basically, I just want to cover up like any bumps or anything I have, and the redness in my cheeks. That's basically it for me. If I can do that, then that's good enough. I feel like the skin right here on my nose by my piercing is always like really like dry and kind of flaky, like no matter what I do. I do have an eyeshadow palette, so we'll see. Maybe I'll put eyeshadow on. Guess I can do a kind of a quick reading update. I was listening to, after I filmed the last clip, I was listening to The Quiet Tenant. I talked about this in my reading update I did yesterday. It's about a woman who is being held captive by this man, and she's been his captive for years. She convinces him to take her with him. When he moves after his wife dies. He has a teenage daughter. I think she's like 13. She convinces him to take her with him because she's worried that he was going to kill her. And so he takes her with him, and instead of like putting her like in a shed or a basement or whatever, he has her move into the house basically and pretend to be a roommate. And so he brings her out for meals, and they pretend to be like roommates. She's a friend that he's like helping out and letting rent a room. And the daughter is supposedly none the wiser. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if the daughter really doesn't know, or what's going on with that. And then there's another POV of a woman who lives in town who has a crush on this guy because, of course, you know, to the outside world, he's like just a normal guy. She has a crush on him, and it's partly from her POV too. I don't know if it's like the timelines are kind of misleading, and maybe the girl who has a crush on him ends up being the girl that he takes captive. I don't know if that's going to end up being the end result, and she like finds out the true nature of him, you know. But I'm like 30% in, so we'll see where that ends up going. I'm trying to find my... I usually put this like brow stuff on, because like the like where my eyebrows start are kind of sparse, so I like to fill that in a little bit. It looks a lot better when my eyebrows are done though. So I'm not gonna worry too much about it because they look like crap right now, no matter what I do. No matter what I do right now, they're gonna look bad because I haven't had them done. I usually have it done when I get my nails done, and last time I went, there wasn't somebody at the nail place who could do them, and I just kind of forgot about it. But it is what it is. So, then I have eyeliner. See, I'm not really sure where the book's gonna go. I don't know if, so the captive, this whole time she has not been on her period, and then all of a sudden her period starts up again. And so one, now she's worried about getting pregnant because he rapes her, like every day, I think. And two, she needs, you know, pads and stuff. And when she asks him, he has a fit, saying that she's like demanding things from him. And then when she goes back to her room, when he takes her back to her room to lock her back in, there's a note slipped under the door and a couple of pads from the daughter. So she's happy because she thinks that the daughter like is her friend now, you know. She has like this secret from him, and yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know exactly where it's gonna go. We'll see. I had lip gloss, and now I'm trying to find where I put it. I don't think I'm gonna do the unboxing right now because I want to get in and try to help my coworkers get set up for this party. I'm trying to find the lip gloss. I know I just threw in here. I had this big backpack with my laptop in it, and then I brought a smaller like crossbody bag so that I can take that into the party with me. I'm hoping, usually we all like carpool when we leave from here to go to the strip, so I'm hoping I'll get to carpool with somebody and I won't have to drive. And there we go. Not bad. I actually kind of like how my hair looks. I was trying to take a picture earlier of my hair and I did not like it. But it looks pretty okay right now. Not bad. Still getting used to it. Like I said, I think I said this earlier, I didn't really consider how this outfit was going to look once my hair was short. Because I didn't know at the time when I bought this dress like a month ago that I was going to cut my hair. Yeah, so I used this lip gloss. This is like a ColourPop. One, it was like a Disney collection that they did, God, probably like in 2018 or 2019, and this came in the one, they did like a villains collection, and this was in the, like the evil queen from Snow White. So it's called Bad Apple. I've had this forever. I had a lipstick that went along with it, but I don't know where lipstick is. So yeah, I like this color. I like how it looks. So yeah, that is it. I'm ready to go inside. So yeah, that is it. I'm gonna go run inside and see if I can help them get set up for this party. I need to get my computer and stuff set up to get clocked in. Oh, I need my badge. Let me try to get that. Come on, where is it? I know it's in here somewhere. I need to get my badge, and then I'm gonna run inside, and then, like I said, I'll show you guys some B-roll, and then I will check in with you guys at some point throughout the day.
Yeah.
Okay, you're the. Oh, you're gonna have bubbles all over it. Oops. Sorry. You're gonna get bubbles all over. It's okay. You can turn it off if you want. How? Let me get the picture. Get the picture first. Wait, take it away because
Now
it's
your turn. Her dress fell apart. Can it be?
Her dress broke.
Maybe that was part of the appeal.
This is after 9 o'clock when you.
This is called a honeymoon dress.
Wait, spin! Spin! The bow! She's like, honey, what are you doing?
There we go. Hey, you can't do that. That's indecent exposure. I didn't say anything about yours falling apart.
Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, I'm home now. Came home, threw on my mini spirit jersey and some leggings. It's about almost 5 now. I think we're gonna go grab something to eat and grab a pickup order at Target. It was a good day. We had a good time at the holiday party. It was fun to see all my coworkers. We're all remote, so we don't actually see each other very often. The Christmas party was fun. The food wasn't very good, but they did give us a $100 gift card, so that kind of makes up for it. And then the bridal shower was a lot of fun. You'll have seen clips from that before this, so we had a good time. It was a lot of fun. But I do love working from home, so it's nice to just meet up every once in a while. So yeah, we're gonna go grab something to eat, do that stuff, and then I'm gonna come home and I have some VA work I have to do. I did finish The Quiet Tenant. I think I talked about that when I did the reading update. I finished that. It was good. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars because the setup was different. Like, I've read books about, men who have abducted women, like thriller mysteries. But this one was different in that I've never read one where, the woman is alive, like, the whole time, and he has her living with him. And then the added element of, like, the daughter, and then the other woman's point of view. I've never read one like this, so I'm giving it an extra star for, like, originality and being, like, different. But it's not quite a 5-star because it was kind of confusing because it kept jumping between the POVs. And then sometimes it would refer to the woman that he abducted as, like, the woman in the shed, the woman in the house, the woman here, the woman there. And so sometimes I wasn't 100% sure which woman he was referring to because it did also sometimes go to the POVs of its past victims. And so it was kind of hard to keep track of who exactly was speaking and who, like, which victim it was. So that part was a little bit confusing sometimes. So I kind of deducted a star for that. That kind of kept it from being a 5-star for me. But overall, it was good. I enjoyed it. I'm glad to have another book done for the year. And yeah, I will do another reading update tomorrow, talk about where I am with the other books and if I'm going to start anything else. I might do some pre-roll later on of, like, work and stuff, but other than that, I will check back in the morning for Friday.